Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-October 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Cancer. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages they receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, Cancer, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at, just in general, what's coming for the remainder of October. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message for our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, take a look at your crystal of the month, and do a healing note. Let's go and jump in and get started. Again, column number 1 is what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. We have the card Shift. Shift is one of these pretty literal cards where it's indication of a change or a transformation or a shift in energy for you. I will say, generally speaking, this feels pretty positive, Cancer, so I like the feeling of this so far. But let's see what messages come through here. Okay, the first card that we have is the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. If you take a look at this card, this person is blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but yet their sword stuck in the ground all around them. So they can very easily kind of wiggle themselves back and cut themselves free. And I do think that this is likely what you did. This is very much so like an overcoming energy coming through here. So it was like your ability to overcome any self-doubt or challenges that may have been there. The next card that we have is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a patient card. It could be a new job, raise, or promotion, though, or some sort of money news. So patience being key, but also, like I said, definitely a shift towards more money or a new opportunity. The next card that we have is the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is a card of obstacles, challenges. I like to call these small bumps in the road, though, because if you take a look at this card, these people aren't fighting with swords, they're fighting with wands. Which just indicates it's not as serious as like a sword fight, if you will. But definitely things to overcome, definitely lots of obstacles to overcome, and the patience that it took to get through these items. If you're still feeling like there are bumps in the road, or if you're still feeling restricted, the nice thing is, to Cancer, that this is the energy that's coming to a close for you. So this is what we get to move on from. The first clarifier we have is the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, abusive relationship, some sort of toxic relationship. And I'm just going to throw out what I'm getting here is I feel like there was a relationship that you didn't feel like was as good as it should have been, Cancer. And that's how that's connecting into the 8 of Swords is, again, this is the feelings that you have towards the relationship, you feeling like the relationship wasn't all that it should be. The next card that we have is the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Pentacles, this is new job, raise, promotion, investment, income, some sort of new income. So we do have 2 new money cards on top of each other, which is really neat to see. I hope you all are feeling and reaping the benefits of that new money, Cancer. If not, it should still be coming to you. It seems pretty promising with the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles there. And then at the bottom here, we have the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, leadership, strategic planning. This is long-term energy. Going back to the 5 of Wands being small bumps in the road, like long term, I don't think that this is going to have a major impact. But this is like a respect issue, and I think that could be causing some of these bumps in the road, or some of this conflict is respect driven. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is general, what's coming for the remainder of October. The first card that we have is consistency. You've probably heard me say this before. Consistency is key. So continuing to stay focused and pushing towards whatever we are hoping to accomplish. Let's say you want to save money to buy a house. It's consistently making sure we're saving and not overspending. If you're wanting to lose weight, it's about going to the gym regularly and making sure we're dieting consistently. So consistency is going to be very important going into the end of October. Let's see what other messages we have here. And the first card that we have is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is having to make a decision. And I will say, I think you're going to have to consistently make the decision to be consistent. I know, isn't that funny to say it that way? But it's like, you are going to have a lot of decisions this month, and it's going to be, do I stay on track or do I not? Do I stay on track? Do I not? So keep that in mind that you're going to have these decisions. One thing with the Two of Swords, too, is this sometimes feels like a compromise. So we might not always be excited about making the decision that keeps us on path. You maybe would rather go to bed early or take a bath or do something other than what's going to keep you consistent and keep you on track. So just be aware of that. But it does seem like there will be like lots of decisions of, do I stay on path or do I go off course here? The next card that we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is an active card. It's new project, new creative idea. I do feel like there's going to be not just one, but like several new things popping up this month. And I'm not really sure even what I mean by new things, like new opportunities, new projects, new creative ideas. There's just going to be a lot of new popping up. We're going to clarify this, of course. At the bottom here, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card. It's very curious. It's very gossipy. It's a card of like prying eyes, people trying to find out your business. It's gossip, drama, water cooler talk. This can also be truth coming out, but more often than not, it's kind of that bad energy, that bad chatter. So I typically tell people stay out of the drama, stay out of the gossip, stay out of the water cooler talk as much as you possibly can this month. You'll be glad you did. It's kind of one of those things that could derail you off your course of what you're hoping to accomplish. Let's see what clarifiers we have here. The first card is the Strength card, and this is going to come through quite literally having the strength to stay consistent and stay on path. Again, it's going to be lots of decisions of, do I do this? Do I not do this? Do I stay on course? Do I get off course? The Strength card, though, is also self-love, self-respect, but it's kind of having those boundaries with ourselves, too. So that ability to stay consistent. It's also courage to stay consistent, because sometimes it's just easier to go off path and maybe less challenging that way. But again, consistency is going to be key here this month. The next card that we have is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change, news coming in. For whatever reason, this still feels like lots of new things popping up. It's not feeling like one thing. So the Page of Wands is active, new project, new creative idea. But I feel like there will be projects and tasks and creative things that keep popping up. And like I said, there's just multiples of them that I'm seeing. And the Eight of Wands is confirming that. The next card we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is very bold, very powerful, very charming. Let me think about how I want to say this. So you're in a very influential position this month, Cancer. And so that's why we need to be careful of who we engage with here. You have a greater impact than I think you realize. What you say has a greater impact than I think you realize. Again, you're in the position of power. So you want to kind of keep to yourself and keep quiet. What I'm getting is you may have information that other people don't have, but maybe they don't have it for a reason. So again, when you can, stay away from the gossip, stay away from the drama if possible, and stay consistent. Let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Again, anything money related. Our first card is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is something bothering you. This is nightmare, anxiety, grief, depression. This is like something keeping you awake at night, though. You see this person's quite literally sitting up in bed. So there's something you're worried about financially or career-wise here, Cancer. The next card we have is the Ace of Pentacles. This is such a good card to have in our money column. I'm glad it's here for you. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. So this is new job, raise, promotion, investment, income. You have those nice money cards here all straight in a row for you too. So definitely some new money energy. If you're worried about money, I wouldn't be, or worried about an opportunity, I wouldn't be. And then at the bottom here, we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient and very honest. For whatever reason, honesty is key. So if you're interviewing for a new job, I wouldn't fib about your skills or your experiences or your references or anything, because you might get called on them. But it's you don't need it, because you're going to get the job, or you're going to get the money or the new investment or whatever it may be regardless. So stay honest. There's no need to lie here is the message that's coming through. But let's clarify out this column and see what other messages I can give you here. The first clarifier we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacles, challenges, especially if you're applying for a new job or new position. I feel you're concerned about the competition. However, again, this looks very good for you, so I definitely wouldn't worry about it. And remember, the Five of Wands is that small bumps in the road energy, so nothing major. So don't be worried about any rivalry or challenges or competition. The next card we have is the Ace of Cups. So you have the two new cards on top of each other. What a nice pairing. The Ace of Cups is typically new baby, relationship, marriage, proposal. What I'm seeing here is new relationship, or new proposal in terms of a business opportunity or a job opportunity. So really just some sort of new money, job, income, investment, you name it. So echoing that newness. At the bottom here, we have the Justice card, and the Justice card is one of those cards that's always favorable for you, and it's a card of the truth coming out. So again, if you lie here or anything like that, you'll get kind of caught in the lie, so don't do it. But also, this is cause and effect, so because you've worked hard, you're getting rewarded with this. So again, there's no reason to fib or lie or exaggerate experience or anything like that, because the Justice is going to work in your favor. This is also a good card in terms of contracts, legal agreements, matters of the courts. This is going to be a positive outcome for you that way as well. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love, family, friends, relationships, children, marriage. Again, whatever you associate with love, Cancer. Our first card is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, abusive, some sort of not very good relationship. I feel for some of you, this could be a relationship ending, but I don't know that this is a love relationship. This could be, again, family or friend. For some of you, of course, it could be your love interest. But I do feel the relationship is going to end because of these traits, this bully, this theft, this violent, abusive, some sort of toxic relationship. The next card we have, though, is the Three of Cups, which is the support system surrounding you. It's having a circle of support, having that circle of positive family and friends. So again, really good support system as we move away from this relationship that's not so good for us. And at the bottom here, we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned. And I think we, of course, will be mourning the loss of this relationship. Even though it feels like it's the right move, this relationship is not serving you well. It's not meeting expectations. It's not good for you. It's somehow hindering you or holding you back. Let's clarify, though, and see what other information we have. The first clarifier we have is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very honest. So this could be a card, again, of being lied to, going back to the reason why the relationship is ending. There could be some sort of gossip or lie associated with it as well. But this is also a card of being self-sufficient. And it's you're really, truly better off without this relationship, Cancer, at least at this given moment. The next card we have is the Knight of Swords. If you look at this, both the horse and rider are moving very quickly here. So I do think this change is going to happen very quickly. This relationship is going to end very quickly in terms of the next few days or week. And then at the bottom here, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a very traditional card. It's a card of expectations. again, expectations are not being met. This is not serving you. This is not feeling good. This is not meeting needs. But again, of course, we still do grieve things even when they weren't the best for us. Now, Cancer, let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide, something to carry into the end of this month. We have the card Motion. So interestingly enough, this is pretty similar to the shift card you had before, saying things are in motion, but a lot of times this is thinking about how we can get things in motion. So if they're not moving, how do we get them to move again? How do we send things into motion? But let's take a look at our last column here and see what other cards we have. The first card we have is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change, news arriving. So the nice thing is we were just saying with the motion card, okay, how do we figure out how to get things into motion? But this is saying things are going to start moving, but I think this is tied to news or finding out some sort of piece of information. So there's going to be some prompting factor here. The next card that we have is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles has a lot of different meanings, but this is oftentimes a card associated with worry. And I feel like you're worried about this motion or this moving forward. We're going to see if we can clarify why, but there's some angst and worry around this movement, this change. And then at the bottom here we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card of desire for long-term security. I think you're questioning long-term if this is what you want or if long-term this is going to work out. This is like the card of our desires and I guess wondering if our desires are going to be filled. The first clarifier we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of waiting. This pairs really nicely, again, on top of our Eight of Wands, which is action or change. So we have a card saying we're waiting, and there's a card saying change is coming. Again, the big question was how to get things moving. It sounds like the movement is going to be kind of coming on its own. The next card that we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active. It's new project, new creative idea. Again, this is worrying if this new thing is going to work out, if this new thing is what you want, if this new thing is the right thing. And I would say that we need to be focusing on what we want here. So the next card we have is the Five of Cups, which again is that kind of worry coming through still about it being long-term the correct thing. Be very thoughtful in decisions, be very thoughtful in prompting this motion, but the best thing that, or I guess the best advice I could give you here for this, Cancer, is to get things moving. The best thing we can do is to get clear on what we want, because it seems like as we move through this journey, it's like we're questioning, is this what I wanted? Is this what I want long-term? So there needs to be some clarity on exactly what you're wanting. But now let's go ahead and take a look here. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the Seven of Diamonds. This is number 38 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Six of Hearts. This is number 3 card. That's also a yes. And question number 3 is the Three of Diamonds. This is number 48 card. That's also a yes. So all 3 yeses there for you, Cancer. We're also going to take a look. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. Your crystal for this month is carnelian. Carnelian is good for urge of discovery, vitality. It really helps you give courage and it helps you face everyday challenges with ease. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, people don't always need advice. Sometimes all they really need is a hand to hold, an ear to listen, and a heart to understand them. Thank you so much, Cancer, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, those subscriptions help me greatly, and you will be notified when I post new content. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you again, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful October.